Oh, dear God. Give me patience, huh? Welcome back, folks, to the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast for my sins that I bring you each and every day, nearly. If you would do me a big favour, especially this week, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit a like on the video, hit that bell notification to know so you know when we go live. This is your match reaction and player ratings for Wolves versus Liverpool. Take a deep breath, Niall. Wolves 3, Liverpool 0. The goals. Joel Matip on 5 minutes with an OG. Absolutely nothing going for us at the moment. What a goal. Then on 12 minutes, 90-year-old Dawson scores against us. And then Ruben Neves with a beautiful goal, the assist by Adama Traore, a breakaway goal. The kind of goals we used to score all the time, but now we don't do it because we're flat-footed. Predictable, no fear. Don't concern other teams. Where do we even begin with this performance? It's just so poor. We become urgent when we're about to be embarrassed. How do we play two halves the way we played today? How many shots do we hit off target? How many times do we have to take an extra touch? How many times do we not shoot when we should? How many times do our strikers think they're providers for midfielders? How do we play 45 minutes like we did today and no changes at halftime? Has everyone given up? Does no one give a shit anymore? How? And if you look at the lineup today, we more or less got what we wanted. We got Nunez up the middle. We got Salah on the right. We got Gakpo on the left. And we have to talk about Cody Gakpo. Every single ball into the box today, horrific. Literally straight to the keeper. No whip, just lofted in. Don't give a shit kind of balls into the box. Really frustrating. We had an opportunity today to potentially go up to 6th after Chelsea's result last night. And once again, and not for the first time, when the door creaks slightly open, our own undoing slams it shut. And hats off to Wolves today. Congratulations to them. Big win, and they needed it. And sure, it wouldn't be like us to offer points up to teams down the bottom that are struggling. Sure, it wouldn't. Nottingham Forest. Now Wolves. Leeds. Everton. You know, we're so sour in our approach. We're so dire in our play. You know, I seen Twitter post today. Would you swap Mo Salah for Federico Chiesa? Is that even a real question? After what we've had to look at for the last year, is that even a real question? Good Lord. The change comes. On 65 minutes. We got to 65 minutes. We were 2-0 down at the time. And we make a change. I don't know what the love in affair is with this 60-odd minute mark for making changes when we were absolute dog shit in the first half. Naby Keita comes off and Jordan Henderson comes off. And in fairness today, Naby Keita was the only one trying to do something. And we take him off for Captain Fantastic himself, who nothing. We now find ourselves, like we did in the first 4 or 5 games of the season, relying on kids to carry the weight and expectation of Liverpool Football Club. Stefan Bietic, Harvey Elliott. These are the players we're looking to now to try and get us through. It's a sorrowful state that we find ourselves in. I'll take some comments. Henry, check out Henry's channel. What a shite afternoon. Absolutely. Can it get any worse for us? It can get a whole lot worse, Henry. Believe me, it can get a whole lot worse. Disaster 3-0 all over. No way back for LFC today. No way back for LFC, full stop. Henry, I have no words for the Dyer showing. Yeah, absolutely. Top 4 gone. Europe gone. Yeah, you had a chance to go back to 6th and get a card back in the game again. Mark Forrest, how are you, Mark? Just a shambles, poor defending and no tempo. We are spent. Yeah, absolutely. Need to keep Doak for the senior games. Doak for the senior games. Could have used him last few games. Yeah, but see, Mark, he won't. The gaffer won't. Just look at the substitutions today. Look at the substitutions today. Harvey came on for Stefan, right? And then on 85 minutes, Cody Gakpo, and on comes Ox. In fairness, Ox came on and he had 1 or 2 shots. Thiago, James Milner coming on for Thiago. And we have Costas coming on for Andy Robinson. I actually would have liked Costas to start today. But really, really, so frustrating. Henry, I have 61 subs. Nice. Delighted for you, pal. Glad you're over that 59. We'll try and rally up a few more for you over the next couple of days as well when we do our content. Get a few more out there for you. Get you going, pal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mark, what do you think? What did you make of the subs today, lads? Let me know what you think. How are you, Warren? I'm not. I'm back here for another therapy session. I'm here. It's like it's like every week I could just literally change the thumbnail and change the thumbnail and change the heading. It's the same old shit week in, week out. I don't know where to start, Warren. And I know you're in pain today as well with Arsenal. But you know something, at least you're in the top 4 and at least you've done something this season. We are absolutely horrific. We are dusted. Absolutely dusted. I just don't understand why the substitutions on 85 minutes. Is he just taking the piss out of us at this stage or something like that? Is this just become a circus and a joke now that this is what we do on 85 minutes, 3-0 down? We give lads a run out for the crack. You know what I mean? It's just Henry, hi, Mark. Yeah, all subs helps. Absolutely. And Mark's back in. Poor time to bring on subs and hardly any attacking players on the bench. Dare I say, hardly any attacking players, Mark, on the fucking pitch, near along the bench. Absolutely shocking. Good job I've no alcohol in the house. Henry, go out and get yourself a nice can of beer or something like that, or whatever your tipple is or something like that. I'm going to need a whiskey tonight. I'm going to need at least a whiskey tonight. I hope no one needs a lift off me here in the house. I'm going to have myself a nice whiskey and ponder my thoughts. Warren, fair play to you, mate, for coming on. If I were you, I wouldn't have done so. It's an obligation, I feel. I actually feel more obliged to the club than the players do, to be honest, at the moment. I nearly feel like if I went on the pitch, I'd nearly put in a better shift, to be honest. I'm probably putting in a better shift creating content than they are playing football, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely. I am worried for you that the Merseyside derby is coming up. Warren, I worry about every game. You think I'm worried about Everton? I have a double header coming up against Real Madrid. I'm not worried about Everton at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Everton next week kick us off the pitch and get the points. Honestly, it's just it's now become a situation now where it's not even home and away. It's now become a situation where it's just, you see our approach. We go out there, the formation doesn't work anymore. We're playing a formation that lends itself to a high press, and it's more a high depress than press. Um, I'm an ex-alcoholic, so now if we start drinking again, that's me done. That is the only rule for me. Then stay away from it, my man. Get yourself a nice lemonade or something like that, or a Coca-Cola or something like that. Um, Mark in the comments, how far do you think we have to go before drastic measures? Dare I say 5 games ago, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. You know what I mean? I don't look. I love Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of time for Pep Linders. I've just I've Harvey Elliott coming on 77 minutes for Stefan Bietic. 3-0 down, and I've Pep Linders giving that kid a pep talk. In other words, go out there. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to say? I've coached teams. What am I going to say to if I'm putting on a sub, with 15 minutes to go and you're 3 or 4-0 down or whatever it is? I'm going to say, listen, go out there and enjoy yourself and have a bit of crack. Pep Linders trying to talk football to the guy. Pep, you're 90 minutes too late. Forget about it. It's done. It's absolutely done. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all, Mark, if Jurgen Klopp walks away. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And to be honest with you, I think with his views that he has expressed in relation to state ownership and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if he walked away anyway. I just don't think he fancies it. I don't think he fancies it anymore. I think there's obviously a lot of toxic stuff going on in the background. We hear a lot of stuff going on in relation to the scouting team. Billy Hogan. We know we're hearing now that there's an internal war going at the moment internally between John Henry and Tom Werner in relation to the sale. We have a bunch of players there that look like they're in serious trouble, that are dead as a dodo on the pitch, that are just putting in the time, who don't feel like they're up for anything. I just don't know. I don't know. There's just so many problems at the club now in such a short space of time. It's like a big tidal wave came up the Mersey after that quadruple, and when that parade was out of the way, and just crashed over Anfield, and left so many problems. Henry says, no clue, Mark. We have one more game before Real Madrid, yeah. Everton. Ted's in the comments. Obviously didn't watch the game, but can't say I was expecting a result like that at all. Had it pegged as a 11, as an 11 before kickoff. Yeah, it was just so poor. Klopp refuses to play Phillips instead of Gomez. Yeah, that's a big one as well. And I mean, how many times this season have we spoken about the selection of personnel, the reluctance and the stubbornness to put players in, the reluctance and the stubbornness in in-game management, and the amount of points as it has cost us this season. You could say what you like about FSG. You can say what you like about the players. You can say what you like about Jurgen Klopp. I'm certainly not Jurgen Klopp out. But a conversation needs to be had, and the conversation needs to be a serious conversation. We have dropped an awful lot of points this season because of personnel selection and because of formation setup. Playing a high press game when the legs aren't there anymore. Mo Salah coasting. Cody Gakpo only in the door. Darwin Núñez trying to find his feet. Miss Captain Chaos. There was no chaos today. We had a brief spell, decent second half where we showed up, but again, didn't result in anything. It's not like we got beaten 3-2 or 3-1. There was no end product at the end of that second half. And why is it? Why is it, as I said at the start of the show, why is it we have to wait till it nearly gets embarrassing for us to kick it into gear and put the effort in? Mo Salah's playing like he doesn't give a toss. Let's be honest here. Klopp refusing to play Phillips. It's absolutely shocking. I love Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips has his limitations, there's no doubt about it, but he will give you 110% every time. Joe Gomez, drifting. Guy needs to be cut loose in the summer. And as for the conversation about Mo Salah, whether you love Mo Salah or you hate Mo Salah or whatever it is, the man is an absolute legend at the club. He has given us some fantastic moments. But maybe it's time for a change. There's either two solutions to Mo Salah. Either it's time for a change, or else we need to bring serious quality baller in to get competitive with him, because he's on the team sheet every week and he ain't producing whatsoever. Mark back in the comments. I would have rested Salah and started Elliott. Elliott out on the right position. Maybe. Yeah. Or just go, you could have went with Cody and Núñez up front as a 2 and maybe just change the formation. You know what I mean? There's so many options we could be doing and so many options we could be trying. But it's so frustrating. I agree. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's in a dire way. It absolutely, managers have gotten sacked for less. Let's call a spade here. This team here came 2 games from winning a quadruple last year, played every single minute of every single game. And yeah, we died off in the Champions League and we died off in the Premier League. We were so lucky. We were 15 minutes away from winning the Premier League, for Christ's sake, with this group of players. You know what I mean? So what's happened? You know, what's happened at the club? What's going on in the background that has derailed these players? Or do we truly believe at this stage that all these players' legs have gone, that, you know, between the injuries and everything else? I mean, you talk about the injuries and stuff like that we've had up front and stuff like that. And obviously Virgil out at the back as well, which is a big loss and stuff like that. But the reality is we haven't been overly massively hit with injuries in the midfield. Most of the season in the midfield, we've been okay. But it's just poor, you know. Games are won and lost in midfield. We know that that's where the battle is. Let's not fool ourselves here. Right up front, we're as blunt as anything. We can't put the ball in the back of the net. Can't even hit the fucking target. How are you going to score if you don't even hit the target? It's just so frustrating, you know what I mean? It's players there. If these players all suddenly become poor players, you know, or is there more to it than this? We got an assistant coach who's releasing a book with all our secrets, you know. Training is our transfer window and all this bullshit we've had to listen to all season. It's absolute nonsense, pure nonsense. Henry, I have said it. I think Klopp will walk away from the job because I can't see him saying out his contract for another 3 years. If he does, he's going to have to develop and evolve himself, because honestly, it's just. I know stats-wise Salah hasn't been too bad, but the man has been a shadow of himself. Yeah, if you look at the stats, Ted, the stats are interesting as well. Like a lot of what he's put together has been condensed into a certain amount of fixtures. But there's so many games where he's just gone missing and just not showed up. And look, it's not all on him either. We've changed the style of play. We've pushed him wider. You know, the players who generally work in around him to create the spaces and create the play and the patterns of play and stuff like that. Trent, way off it. Hendo, not even in the team. You know, it's just, the whole thing is just a shit show. It's just collapsed. Yeah, Ted, 1-1. Sorry, yeah, I meant that. Yeah, no bother. I called it 2-1 to Liverpool in the preview, but all the intensity crap from Pep Linders, yeah, they must have left it in pre-season or something like that. He must have ran the guts out of him there, and that's where it is, because it's disgusting to watch now at this stage. It's just disgusting to watch. And it's just, imagine with us as content creators as well. I'm coming on here every week and I'm having to find little snippets of positivity within the thing, you know. And the positivity, where am I going, you know? Stefan Bietic, you know, Harvey Elliott. These are the guys who are giving me positivity. Thiago occasionally puts a few passes together and stuff like that, gives us a bit of hope. Alisson Becker, We should be in the relegation zone if it wasn't for Alisson Becker. To show how frustrating that man was today, he has an absolute pain in his backside with the situation. He took the ball up today and he ran into midfield himself to try and make something happen. He's so fucking goddamn frustrated. That'll tell you how bad it is at Liverpool at the moment. I'm sick of the other lads smiling on the sideline. I'm sick of stupid post-match interviews. I'm sick of him concerned about what Chelsea is spending. I'm sick of all this bullshit. Get back to basics and get back to doing our job. What the hell are we about? You know what I mean? Languishing down in 10th, probably worse now. You know, we could be even in the bottom half by the end of this weekend. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. It's that embarrassing. You know what I mean? It's just so frustrating, you know, just nonsense talk and bullshit and excuse after excuse after excuse. Why isn't he demanding these players coming in? The January window now closed. What are we doing signing Cody Gakpo on the first day that the transfer window opens when we glaringly need midfielders and they're not coming in and you're sitting back and you're just accepting it? Get in there and tear people asunder and get what you need and stuff like that. Why didn't we sign that boy that went to Man United if he was available? How did we not know about that? It's glaringly obvious that we need it. Man United get an injury to Ericsson and the next day, bang, they have a boy in. That's how we used to operate. Big club mentality. Big club mentality. Where is it? You know, this means more. Where is it? Doubters to believers. This means more. Where is it all gone? You know what I mean? Stand up. Have you got the heart for it anymore? If you don't have the heart for it anymore, then hit the bricks. Get out of here unless you have it anymore. No more nonsense. No more excuses. And it's not just the first team. The academy and women are struggling. Look, when there's problems in the background, it spreads like a cancer, Henry. You know what I mean? It goes through the whole club. There's no good feeling there. There's no players rocking up having a laugh. There's no players enjoying their training. It's now a chore. You know, you can just imagine going into training there on Monday now after today. You know what I mean? Shocking. Gone from one of the most exciting teams in the world, you know, in and around trophies, but not always winning them. You know, playing a good brand of football. Let's get back to basics. Let's play a good brand of football. You know what I mean? Forget about whether we win trophies or where we are in the league. Let's show up and be competitive. This was Wolves today. No disrespect to Wolves. They've been one of the worst teams in the league this season. And we rock up like a joke. Liverpool fans in the stand there who have paid hundreds of pounds probably to be at that game, who'd probably kick a ball better than what was on the pitch today. Man up, lads. Look in the mirror. Mark, can't see any players coming back from injury soon. There's a few on the way back. As far as I know, Jota's back training and stuff like that. I seen a picture there the other day. I think Virgil and Bobby are back there again as well, but just not ready. And I understand that rushing them back. You know what I mean? Because the concern of losing them again. I think what they've done is they've basically rolled off everything, and the target now is to see what we can do in the Champions League. And I think that's when you'll see players coming back. And if Virgil comes back, maybe, and Bobby comes back. But I mean, what's going to happen? He's going to play Mo Salah for both Real Madrid games. What's that going to do? He's not willing to make the changes. He's not willing to take the risk. You know what I mean? He didn't even realise we had a midfield problem till people started slagging him off nearly in the press. He didn't realise he was over loyal until people started asking him, is he too loyal to players? The thing's a whole fucking joke at this stage. We're the laughing stock of the league at the moment, and we're mid-table, and we're the laughing stock of the league. Frustrating the hell out of it. Henry, and all the wages players are being paid and given shit performances isn't good enough. The problem, Henry, is the wages doesn't mean anything because the dollars in the bank don't kick the ball on the pitch. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? There's Stefan Bietic. He's probably on, what's he on? They're renegotiating his contract at the moment, I think. I think he's on $5,000 at the moment or something like that. You know what I mean? So the money's, look at Mo Salah, 350 grand a week, running around like he's jogging on a treadmill. You know? It's embarrassing for the fans not to bring in any players. Yeah, it's absolutely, it's embarrassing, it's a letdown, it's all of the above, just so frustrating. You know what I mean? It's just, I come on here every week, I do these match reactions, I try to be positive, I try to say, look, we could look at this or look at that, or we got a bit of performance out of this player or that player or whatever it is, so maybe we can put something together there and stuff like that. We're getting tore up, you know what I mean? We're standing off a Dama Traore. We're standing off Adama Traore. Look at their last goal. Look at that last goal. That's a blueprint for a typical Liverpool goal. A quick breakaway, quick recycling of the ball. We recycle the ball. The ball goes up to Mo Salah. He turns back and gives it back into the midfield. They turn back and give it back into defence. Boom, 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 boom. Teams organise themselves. 2 banks of 4. Like, Wolves didn't even have to do that today. Because even when we got into shooting positions, we didn't even shoot. And then when we didn't get into shooting positions, and all of a sudden the urgency kicks in, and the anxiety and all the other stuff that goes with it, we start taking shots in places where we never take shots. Many shots today were blocked. Many shots today were off target. And the worst thing about it is, I look at the training videos all week, and the lads are having a great old laugh, pinging balls into the top corner from 20 and 30 yards, and all this kind of thing. And then they go out on the pitch, and it's like, fuck it. It's so frustrating. Henry, it's unforgivable to see the slump of LFC. Look, I talk to Darren all the time. You guys know Darren from the Thursday tier talk and the Monday mashup and stuff like that. The drop off has been monumental. I have never, ever seen a club to go from here to here in 6-7 months. I've never seen it. And the writing was on the wall, because if you look at the pre-season, it was pony. Then we rocked up and we beat City in the Community Shield, and I thought, we might kick on from this now. Then we start playing players in nothing matches, and we lose Konate because we played him against Strasbourg in a nothing game at Anfield. It's shocking. It's shocking, the stuff that we've done this season. Absolutely shocking. Samuel, how are you, my friend? Good to see you there. Klopp FSG out. Yeah, how do you feel about it, Samuel? I mean, do you put the two together, or do you separate them? A lot of people are saying FSG out, and then they don't want to talk about Klopp because then all the floodgates open and stuff like that. Like, we're seeing teams at the moment buying players that we should be buying. You know what I mean? Writing off a whole season with the hope that Jude Bellingham might come in, and letting all these other players go to teams all around us and strengthen and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy what's unfolding here at the moment. Let me know. I see them as both the same. I not the same, but I see them as one. I've gotten to a stage now as the season has gone on where I don't talk about FSG and Jurgen Klopp separately. I talk about them together, because if he really wants something to happen to him, I mean, do we really believe he has gone to FSG for the last 4 years looking for a midfielder and he hasn't bought a midfielder? Are we supposed to really stomach that and believe that? And yet he's bought 4 forwards. Like, it's just, like, do we really believe that, like, this drop off, like, does he believe in his mind that this drop off is a drop off in form? How can it be? It can't be. It's just, oh, Henry, the mice have stolen the cheese. Yeah, absolutely. We were looking scared today. Yeah. Yeah, and it's only, Mark, you see it then in the second half, we come out and then we grow a set of balls and we suddenly want to play football. You know what I mean? We start off, we go out every game now in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, absolutely shitting a brick. And we'll do the same next week against Everton. Everton. You know what I mean? Look at where we have dropped points this season. Look at the teams we've dropped points to, because we go out and we're giving them the ultimate respect instead of doing what we should be doing. Crazy. I did want Enzo. Felt he fitted all we needed. Listen, Mark, there's about 20 midfielders out there that ultimately make us better. We were playing against some of them today. Look at this here. Ruben Neves. Does Ruben Neves not instantly make us better? Does Mateus Nunes not instantly make us better? Imagine we could have bought Mateus Nunes and now we're going to have to pony up a wedge if we want him to Wolves. Madness. Lamina, does he not make us better? Kuna, does he not make us better? Could have got him, didn't get him. It's just, Adnouri makes us better. There's so many players in that. Wolves team today, even in subs that came on. Podence instantly makes us better. And yet we can't wrap our head around this because of the protection we afford some of these players, because of some of the brilliant moments they give us through our loyalty and Klopp's stubbornness and all this kind of thing. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous and unforgivable to mortgage off a season based on a player that might come in, who, even if he comes in on his own and we get nothing else, will not make us any better. Will slightly improve us, but will not fix us up. Let's be honest here. If Joe Bellingham was playing there today and he's the only change in that team, does he makes us better? But does he solve all our problems? No. And we're looking going into this summer now. We're somewhere in the region, depending on what happens with Keita and Ox and Milner and all that kind of stuff. We could have 9 players going out of contract in 2025. So what's going to happen this summer? It's going to be, let's tie all these guys down again. It's boiling my blood at the moment, boiling my blood. I have been a supporter since 74. Absolutely, Henry. I'm 78. You got 4 of me, so fair play to you. And the thing about it, Henry, is we're kind of conditioned to it. When you see a fan base at the moment that's absolutely exploding over what's going on and stuff like that, because me and you are of a kind of a vintage where we've seen a lot of these things before, and we've lived through 30 years of getting blasted by United and Arsenal and then Chelsea and stuff like that, and then Man City, of course. So, we've lived it. We've lived it. So it's, what can I say? Frustrating. We played well in the Shield, then a few days later crashed and burned. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spot on, Mark. Spot on. Warren, please everyone hit the like button, share it far and wide, and please subscribe to this Legends channel. Cheers, Warren. Really appreciate that. Absolutely. Anyone watching, listening, tuning in the chat, please, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, we'd really appreciate it. Need to do well in the league to even think of attracting players. Absolutely. Look at the teams that are going to be in for Jude Bellingham next season. What happens if Newcastle get top 4 and huge investment and more players coming in, and Eddie Howe there, progressive manager and all that kind of stuff? And what are we offering? Come to Liverpool. You can be the next Steven Gerrard. On the back of what? On the back of what? You know what I mean? It's just so we're led around by the nose. FSG, Jurgen Klopp is going to have a war chest of 250 million. Wake up, fellas! 250 million these days gets you 2 players, maybe 3, at the level that you need to be buying at. What are we going to do? Pick 5 players from the Championship and bring in Joe Bellingham for 150? It's fucking nonsense. The whole thing, nonsense. Well, West Ham 2 up against Newcastle. That is a shock to me. Absolute shock to me. I'm very, very surprised at that. And you see, the thing about that, Henry, that makes me feel now even worse, because there was another opportunity for us to claw points and get back into that top 4 race. Maybe this team is not capable of putting a run together. This team has turned around and said, "Fuck it, don't fancy this season. We're going to head off to the Champions League and see what we can do." Does anyone in their mind, even with players coming back, actually think we're going to do anything in the Champions League this season? Shocking. Ted, check out Ted's channel as well, by the way. Retrotainment does some great stuff there on movies and stuff like that, and recasting them and all. Fun channel there. Check it out. I know it's not as simple as this, but losing Mane has been absolute insane, because now you have no threat down the left side, so it's always having to come from Salah. Listen, I said it when Mane was gone. People turned around and said, "Oh, well, if that's what he wants to do and he wants to head off, so be it." Mane was always the engine of our press game. Always the engine of our press game. And we just let him coast out the door, not because of some of it related to money, but some of it because we just didn't wrap the arm around him and make him feel as loved as the guy that we hung on to. And all the talk was Salah, whereas people didn't identify that the actual engine under the bonnet was Mane. Shocking. Warren, also check out Warren's channel. Warren does a great show on Saturdays. Warren, I wasn't in it much today, obviously, because Liverpool were playing, but great stuff again today, as always. I would love to see you having a one-on-one with Jurgen or get in a press conference. Man, I would be thrown out. I listen to these press conferences, and honestly, I listen to the absolute bullshit that they get asked. You know what I mean? Like, listen, Jurgen Klopp yesterday being asked, what did he think of Chelsea spending? Like, why would that even be a question when we're where we're at the moment? Why doesn't someone ask Jurgen Klopp, has he looked at trying to play a different formation? Or has he figured out how to do subs? Or has he figured out how to play players in their proper position? We've just played Cody Gakpo for the last month, nearly up the fucking middle. And now the penny has dropped that he belongs out on the left. And not that we've seen much of it today and stuff like that, because we're just absolutely in the mud. You know what I mean? Why don't people start asking the real questions? Why don't people start asking real questions to Jurgen Klopp, like why in the last 4 years has he not signed a midfielder? You know what I mean? Let's ask real stuff here. You know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of football press conferences where people just go in and protect their little press pass and ask absolute fucking nonsense. You know what I mean? When are we going to get real questions and real answers asked? Mark, and I'm Henry Refresh. I have 1-0 Newcastle. Oh, interesting. So, from 2-0 to 1-0 Newcastle. I'll tell you now exactly what it is, lads. I have it here. It is 1-0 to Newcastle, lads. Callum Wilson with the goal on 3 minutes. Sean Longstaff with the assist. Willock had a goal ruled out as well for VAR. So it ain't 2-0. No, but I was thinking that, Henry. I couldn't believe that. You know what I mean? I just couldn't believe it. Warren's in. Liverpool FCs are the biggest club in England, and they are behaving like Tranmere Rovers. With all respect to them, it is completely unacceptable. 100%. We're not even acting like Tranmere Rovers. We're nowhere near acting like Tranmere Rovers. Go about 4 divisions lower. Tranmere Rovers probably signed players in the January window. You know what I mean? It's Henry's back in. My bad, Mark. No bother. Was saying things. Absolutely. Mark, laugh out loud. Uh, Portugal O'Byrne here. Ireland 34, Wales 10, the Six Nations, Cardiff, Wales. Yeah, absolutely great start for Ireland. I think, am I right in thinking did it finish 36, Portugal? I think didn't they get a bonus point as well or something like that? So, uh, great result for Ireland today. I wonder if we could get a few of them to tug out for Liverpool, maybe show that bit of passion. Yeah, says Mark Forrest. Absolutely. Nothing else to add. So let's get into these player ratings. This should be fun. I could cast aspersions here and just go, yeah, I'll just give everyone a feckin' 2 and just, you know what I mean? But let's get into it anyway. Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker. I am not going to give Alisson Becker a bad rating ever because he, along with some of the kids, is carrying this club on his back at the moment. He must be frustrated to hell. And God save us if we ever lose him. I'm going to give him a 6 today. Can't really give him much more. A couple of saves he made, especially prior to offsides or free kicks being called and stuff like that. And you could see the frustration with him towards the end. He ran out of his own fucking box with the ball. That's how frustrating he's getting. It must be so frustrating to have gone from where you were to now where you are, and you're still performing at a certain level, and everything in front of you is just absolute in the mud, absolute crap. Henry, desperation makes you do weird things. Absolutely. Good Lord. And thanks to Porrig. Porrig, thanks for coming on, cheering us up with the Ireland result. Bloody well needed. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Going to give him a 4. And this is all generosity here at the moment, lads. Giving him a 4 at the moment. Exposed far too often again and just, played a lovely ball over the top for Nunez, which was a cracking ball and stuff like that. But all the intricate play that we were really good at up that side and stuff like that has vanished. We're even like everything has to be put back in, everything has to be sent back down the line, extra touches. And just that fluency isn't there anymore in terms of that link-up play between the right-sided midfielder, whoever that tends to be. God Lord, it changes so much. Salah there and Trent there. There's no link-up play anymore. And now we're reduced to, Trent having to play a 40 or a 50-yard ball absolutely onto a play for a striker to make that happen. Whereas we used to have this play where we play around teams, we confuse them, we pull teams apart, pull defences apart to open up spaces for Salah and all to run into. Now he literally has to carve open his own thing. For Salah now to score and actually put a score on the board, he nearly has to beat 3 players himself and curl the ball into the far corner. That's where we've got to. 4 for Trent today. Bad showing. Joe Gomez. Oh, where do I begin with Joe Gomez? I just describe him. It's just, oh, what do they always say? 100% concentration, 100% of the time. And this boy just can't do it. So I can't defend him anymore. I can't defend him with 19 or 20 games into the season and defend him on the basis of the good showing he had against Man City. Can't do it. So Joey G is getting a 2. And that's being generous. Joel Matip, very unlucky for the old G. Coughed up an easy chance for Nunes as well, and looked very, very shaky at the back. And when we look shaky at the back, that anxiety and nervousness spreads through the whole team. The whole team. If you look at when we're playing really good football, it's a solid back line that you can rely on. No shakiness or nervousness, solid play. But it's just a 3 for Joel today. No, at no stage coming out of the box, at no stage making any runs and trying to open up passes and stuff like that. Just soon as he got the ball, like a lot of people in defence today, just wanted shot of it. Andy Robertson, Robbo, who I love. But it's now his form is now so unpredictable. It makes me nervous when I see his name on the team sheet now. Giving him a 3 today. Played Hwang on for the first goal. The onside for the first goal. Oh, it's so frustrating. So frustrating. Just not good. Not good at all. Think about this. Stefan Bietic. What do we say about this boy? This boy is a fabulous talent. This boy is now becoming the linchpin of our midfield. He's now nearly becoming the first midfielder to go on the team sheet. And then really, really good composure. Having to work so hard because of wayward midfielders. Having to work so hard because of how quickly the opposition can recycle the ball against us. And then got subbed off. But an absolute fabulous talent. Naby Keita, I'm going to go to first. Naby, funny enough, I'm going to give him a 3 today. But look, this tells us where we're at. This is a player who clearly wants away from the club. And on another day, and in another squad, and under another set of circumstances, you would turn around and go, fine, and you just don't include him. But we have to. And this is where we find ourselves. And this is this whole midfield conversation dilemma. Playing players who don't have a future at the club, who don't want to be at the club. And we're having to play them. And yes, Naby brought a bit of energy today. And yes, Naby, a couple of things going on and stuff like that and trying to make opportunities and a couple of shots blocked and all that kind of stuff. But it's just really covering up the real issue. Thiago Alcantara, he gets a 3 today as well. He's generally consistent for us. I think there is an argument there to say that he slows up the play slightly when he plays, but who are we going to play? But when he is off and his passing is off, it's really off. And that was the story today. Mo Salah. I'm going to give Mo a 4 today. And truthfully, that's been really generous as well. And I don't know what's come over me that I want to get generous in the ratings, but I'm going to give him a 4. He was unlucky with the first half effort and went wide. But in some respects, when he picks up the ball and stuff like that, he's really an architect of his own downfall. In terms of he can't seem to make the space that he needs. He can't seem to link up the play. He just seems like a guy who's highly frustrated. Like all these players just seem like they're highly frustrated, that they're pissing away a year of their career. That's how it feels, you know what I mean? So 4 for Mo. Darwin Núñez. I'm going to give Darwin a 5 today. I thought some of the runs he made today were really good, especially the one with the ball over the top for Trent. Worked the goalkeeper a couple of times. Didn't necessarily cause the chaos that we need in there against their defence. A lot of the game was played kind of in front of them and stuff like that. We didn't break quick enough. We didn't show the intensity on the ball quick enough. We didn't move at times the way we should move, and hence the Wolves' defence could organise itself and see everything in front of it and what was evolving. So because we don't move the ball so quick, they can get organised. And hence, he's not pulling players around. He's not opening up space. And the problem is, even if he does open up space, if Cody's going to cut in or Salah's going to cut in, there's literally no runs going to come from midfield. So let's be honest, we're not getting a tune out of midfield at the moment in terms of any chipping in from goals. We're blunt as hell up front as it is. So a 5 for Darwin. And again, let me know in the comments if you want to give me your ratings in the comments, or if you disagree with anything, let me know. Let's have a discussion about it. Cody gets a 3 today. After a decent showing last week, kind of fell off the cliff a little bit today, and you have to kind of feel for Cody at the moment. He's come in. He's arrived at a shit show. He was sold a project, and a grenade was thrown into the dressing room, and it's exploded, and up into the boardroom, and it's exploded. And it's firefighting for this lad at the moment. He's a young lad. He's trying to find his feet in a new country and in a new league, which is very difficult to adjust to. It's not that easy to adjust to it. Some players do, some players don't. But really, really struggling for Cody today. So some of the balls into the box were just kind of lean back, lob into the box, don't give a shit kind of things. Just when you're 3-0 down or 2-0 down even, you have to find something deep down inside you to create something to happen, don't you? You have to believe going out there, that you're going to be able to create something, that you're going to get a goal back and get yourselves back into the game. We come back out at half time. There's no changes. I'd love to have seen the team talk. It's probably pony. And, we're not running out there as Liverpool Football Club to say, right, we're going to express ourselves. Now, we did get a reaction. We did move the ball quicker. There was a bit more intensity. We did move the ball around. But you just always feel, as I said earlier, you're not shooting when you should. You're taking an extra touch when you shouldn't. Like even that one that came to Keita, I think, in the box, had to take a touch and then shoot. So he lets everyone settle and get ready. Instead of just banging it first time and trying to catch a keeper, off guard or whatever it is, we give them too much time to get organised. And that's a sign of a team that's lacking serious confidence at the moment. So look, we know that that's the case. Jordan Henderson came on for Keita on 65. Gave Jordan a 3. Just had no impact on the game at all. He's another one. I think, look, I love Jordan Henderson. I love the story. I love the journey he went on and the stuff that he won. And the images that are there of him hugging the dad. We know the background to the dad's story and everything that went on. He's enshrined in our club in the way that we would want him to be. But his time has come. His time has come. Like so many, his time has come. Harvey Elliott on for Bietic on 77. Probably fed up he didn't start. He has been putting in reasonable performances. But it must be frustrating as a player there within that squad. I mean, you look at Ben Doak as well. It must be highly frustrating. I mean, what do you have to do to get a start in a game or come on at half time in a game? And it's so frustrating. Harvey, I didn't give Harvey a rating because the more I sit here and the more I think about players so young who are carrying the weight and the expectation of this club, and I just get angry. And I can't say anything bad about them regardless of the result because they're trying their best, while other players on serious money just aren't putting it in. James Milner on for Thiago on 86. I don't even want to talk about these late substitutions because honestly, if I was close to that man standing on the sideline in the crowd, I would have given him a fucking earful. It's just disgusting. Mark, I don't know if it's best to rest a known player or let them fight through their drought spell. I don't know what it is. There's no competition there for him, and what competition we have there is little solitude to us, really. You know what I mean? But I just don't think like his form has been absolute shite since the AFCON. He came back from the AFCON, either the disappointment of the AFCON and the disappointment of missing out on the World Cup. As I don't know what it's done to that man has shattered his confidence, plus what's gone on this season and the disappointment of last season, not potentially landing one of the big ones, the league or the Champions League. But he has been a passenger in this side. And on occasions, we have seen the old Mo Salah. There's no doubt about it. And if you looked at his stats, some people would be saying to me, well, what are you talking about? But the reality is, if you go and you dig deep into those stats and you look at them, and you really look at them, he's been way off it. He's been missing in games time and time again. And I just think, again, loyalty. Henry, but I will never give up on Liverpool. Absolutely not. We haven't come on this journey this far to shoot ourselves in the foot and ever walk away. I won't be allowed to laugh out loud. Dad had trials at LFC, and my family have known a few players. Yeah, I know, Mark. It's just, I'd love to know what they think about it. Fair play to your dad having trials. Anti-dictator has given us the thumbs up. Cheers, anti-dictator. And Morris is in the comments. Check out Morris's channel, GP Productions Podcast. Fantastic. Didn't see a minute of the 90, but you called it getting worse than better. This is a crisis. This was a crisis a long time ago. It's just getting toxic and worse week on week. And God help the fallout from this game. I don't even want to go on social media and see what's being said at the moment in spaces and stuff. Mark's back in. You should see how poor the goals were. The last goal they scored, I think, was a very good goal. I think it was really poor from us, but I think from their play, the quick recycling on the ball, Adama Traore into him, and then into Ruben Neves, took a touch and a lovely finish. And we were wide open as well. The distance between Matip and Joe Gomez was shocking. No one picking Ruben Neves up, because what we've been talking about there, where we recycle the ball too slow and we give people a chance to organise, they recycle the ball so fast we didn't have time to get organised, and that's why they scored. And that's, if you look at that goal that they scored, that's a blueprint of how many goals we've scored over the years. I wouldn't bother, Morris. Don't waste your time. Watch something else. Pick a movie or something like that and have a few beers if that's what you're going to do. Don't watch it. It's shocking. Mane, Acer's in the comments. How are you, Acers? Mane put a juju on Liverpool after leaving. I think maybe when he went back to Senegal or something like that, he told one of these local doctors or something like that Liverpool wouldn't pony up the money to give him the money that he needed to continue to develop in the country, and they put the mockers on us big time. You could be spot on there. Yeah, absolutely. And Mark's in as well. He was picked up by Spike Milligan, a scout back then. Very good. Interesting, Mark. Interesting backstory there. Absolutely. Well, folks, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Enjoy your weekend as best you can. Don't let our club that's in the mud drag us down. Won't make any difference, Acers. Won't make any difference. Seriously. It's a little comfort to us at this stage where we're at, to be honest. Um, but yeah, if you could, obviously like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. We will be back on Monday with Monday mashup. Not sure of a time on it. It's normally 9 o'clock. We might go a little bit earlier because it's a bank holiday. I'll check with Darren, let you know. It'll be up there. You'll see it if you hit the bell notification. Um, my uncle Jack was a priest and he had a trial for Liverpool. Nice one, Ted. Um, yeah, but I think it's I won't take up any more of your time. This has been the Shankly Sessions. Match reaction. Wolves 3, Liverpool 0. Still in the mud. And player ratings. If you want to contact the show, it's the uppertierpodcast@gmail.com. Upper Tier on YouTube, of course. Hit the subscribe button. If you want to contact us as well, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You'll find us on all of those, the Upper Tier and the Shankly Sessions. We will be back real soon. Cheers, boys.